I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Allen was looking to change his luck.
You ain't going back into the game.
I got me some other plans now.
But bad luck always had a way of finding him first.
All of a sudden, I'm getting chased and shot at every time I turn around. I ain't going out like no punk.
Caught Up, rated R, starts February 27th.
Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Jordon. Thank you so much. For anyone who wants to request any type of reviews, re-reviews, topics, reactions, lists, reviews of movies or something else, pretty much any type of video, you just send a request either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Caught Up is one of those films. It's directed by and written by a guy named Darin Scott, and I thought his name sounded familiar. He helped write and produce the first Tales from the Hood, which I did enjoy. He also directed Deep Blue Sea 2, and Tales from the Hood 2, and I probably worked on Tales from the Hood 3. Deep Blue Sea 2 sucks. All these I've heard of Tales from the Hood sequels, they suck. But then, this was the time where he wrote and produced the first Tales from the Hood, and this was actually pretty decent too. It stars Bokeem Woodbine, who I do like as an actor. And I will say for the movie, it's a bit too convoluted. And it seems like it's trying a bit too hard to impress. Like, it has one of the more awkward openings to a film where it's showing the actors as like the camera's pushed into Bokeem's face, then it pushed him shooting like he's James Bond, then it pushed to the girl who's the other lead of the movie, and with her tarot cards, the camera's pushing as she's doing this. Like, and yeah, it seems like the director is like, ease down on certain stuff. Ease down. You're trying a bit too hard to impress. But part of me is like, you know what, at least he's not being lazy about it. Because I've seen a lot of lazy direction in movies in recent years. So at least his director's like, he might have tried a bit too far in his plot. Because it's a plot that definitely has a lot of twists and turns. And they may be enough to get people like, oh, fuck this. But it was still fun for me at the end of the day. It was still fun as sort of one of those eggs that you keep open and there's something else inside. I forget the name of those eggs. But again, it might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I had fun with it. Bokeem Woodbine is a guy who he wants to open this club. And his friend says, hey, I can help invest. Take me to this bank. Okay, does it. Of course, the buddy starts robbing the bank. He doesn't know until it's too late while driving. And this is when I'm like, okay, this movie bit more than I thought it would be, because during this chase scene, the car crashes and his friend just goes boom right through the windshield. Looked pretty brutal. And he gets sent to years in jail. He gets out. His parole officer is Tony Todd. Always nice to see Tony Todd. And this definitely has a sense of humor. For some people it might not work, but for me, it did get some chuckles out of me, to be fair. Like when he gets out and he's talking to himself, he's like, you ever see a want ad where they're looking for an ex-con with big ears? So he's making fun of himself. And when he meets this tarot card lady that looks a lot like his ex-wife, who has now moved on with their kid, he just threw a lot of kind of crazy situations where he's caught up, pun intended, and sort of a plot that gets a little bit more convoluted, a little bit more where there's a masked gunman trying to go after them, and then gets part of this limo service, but then at one point there's a dead body in the limo and he barely escapes a cop. At one point he has a friend, but he finds out that friend's an undercover cop. The tarot card lady, which they're kind of become very close and intimate. Now something about a diamond. He wakes up and she's dead, but there's something else going on. And that's what I mean, like, he's trying to find out who killed her. Was it this guy? Wait, it might not be this guy. It might actually be this guy. Like I said, I will at the very least say that while it is convoluted, it did keep pulling me in. It did keep me going, where is this movie heading towards? In a good way. Like, where is this movie heading? I'm not quite sure, but I'm interested to see where this leads to. And that on top of, it did go at a good pace. I was never bored. The direction, while at times he's trying too hard, at least he's not being lazy. I never found the direction to be lazy, so I at least give credit to that. Bokeem Woodbine, there are times where he'll make like a funny face while he's trying to be very serious or emotional. You know, he's like his lips make this weird reactions of his lips while he's being very intimate or emotional sequence with the tarot card lady or whatever. That could be deemed as a bit laughable. But for the most part, I do Bokeem Woodbine, and again, liking him as an actor. It was cool to see him get a lead part, because he did not get to do a lot of movies where he was the lead. Usually he's support bad guy, support good guy. I think he was a bad guy in that, was it Spencer Confidential with Mark Wahlberg? Total Recall remake, that was shitty. Not because of him. That short film, Three Bullets with Michael Jai White, he's in it for a little bit. But it was cool to see him as the lead. And this is a movie that the plot at least kept me interested. And it's not, to me, it's not a pedestrian plot. Especially by the end, it's definitely not a pedestrian plot. That I give credit to. Again, people may say he's trying too hard, the writer-director, Darin Scott. But you know what? I kind of appreciate his ambition. He's not phoning it in. And yeah, some critics, especially at the time, thought this plot's a bit too much for people, but that kind of impressed me in a weird way. And it had some fun lines. I mean, Bokeem Woodbine's like, I don't give a fuck if he's the Terminator's daddy. You know, this guy chasing them. Or there's a point where he gets a ride from Snoop Dogg, who is like one random cameo who gives him a ride. It's a USDA. That's United States Dick Association. I'm like, what? What? And there's people that I'm like, oh shit. Like Snoop Dogg is in it. Michael Clark Duncan, you barely see him, but he plays a guard. He doesn't really have any strong scenes in the movie, but this is around the time he got Armageddon. So this is before that and the Green Mile, where he became much more famous. So he's in a Blink and You Miss It part. Basil Wallace, the guy who's Screwface. This seemed like it would be, in a way, if you see March for Death and when Steven Seagal said, I hope they weren't triplets, this could be the third triplet. Like, he plays a guy named Ahmed, but he kind of playing Screwface again. But maybe a little bit more of a humorous Screwface for March for Death. But it was already cool to see Basil Wallace. LL Cool J has a cameo as the guy who's with Bokeem Woodbine's ex-wife, and he has like one scene. So it seemed like, the director called in a bunch of favors. Hey, Snoop Dogg, hey, LL Cool J, come film a scene for a day. Jeffrey Combs makes an appearance. That surprised the fuck out of me. Like, Jeffrey Combs? Holy shit. And like I said, there was moments that did make me kind of smirk and chuckle. For example, he's talking to someone, and they're talking in the middle of this Lethal Enforcer video game. And the guy's like, what the fuck are you doing here? Well, I came here to be... Well, how did he put... I came here to learn how to be a Lethal Enforcer. And he starts the game up. I want to play. And he starts playing the game. And then... he's fucking shooting the game that's on the screen. Guess I won. That's one way to play Lethal Enforcer. I remember playing that in the arcade, so that was fun. Scene like that was fun. There's a scene with acid. Someone is trying to get information from this guy, but another guy poured too much acid, and the way there's a kind of a funny black comedic way. There's another guy, Clifton Powell. He was in Next Friday. He's been in a few other films. He plays this guy who's a cop. Like I mentioned, like there's a lot of familiar faces in this. And like I said, the plot can be... I had fun with the plot. It's convoluted. It's like, wow, you're going through a lot of twists. It's going to rub some people the wrong way, but if I have to be honest, it didn't rub me the wrong way too much, to the point that it was entertaining. I'll say it was entertaining, and I didn't think it would end exactly as it did. What do you think? That's good or bad? Spoiler alert! Spoiler starting now, because you find out that the ex, which kind of made sense as to why she looks a lot like his ex-wife, like why they did that in the movie, like why did they put that into the film? Oh, well, when he woke up, that wasn't the tarot card's dead body, that was his ex-wife's dead body. He doesn't find out till later, and the tarot card lady is actually working with the cop who used to be his friend and was an undercover cop, and is now working with this girl to get this diamond and fence it and then fuck over Basil Wallace. And it's kind of one of those things you see in other movies like Enemy of the State, where flip off a light or you do something, the hero gets down and they all kind of shoot themselves. But then it doesn't stop there, because you're wondering, who's the masked man? Oh, it wasn't going after the girl for the diamond, the tarot card lady. It was going after him, because back to the beginning, that robbery of the bank, which he had no involvement in, he was driving, he didn't know, the guard was Jeffrey Combs. And apparently the guy who died through the windshield had shot Jeffrey Combs in the dick. So there's Jeffrey Combs with this big fucking catheter and no dick, and he wants revenge on Bokeem. So he shoots Bokeem, shoots himself. Bokeem gets out of the water. He was wearing a bulletproof vest. Part of me would have liked if there was a fight and he beat the fuck out of Jeffrey and shot him instead of... But I mean... Yeah, that's what I would have preferred, but oh well. But he's fine. He's now got the diamond, the money, the club. He's with his son. As he puts it, life is a game that must be played. But to win, you gotta avoid being caught up. Yeah, you gotta avoid getting caught up. And I'm watching the film with the end credits. I went, this was a weird movie. I do appreciate how weird it was. Like when you go into it with if you go into it with the marketing, it seems like a typical game movie but just the marketing makes it seem more typical than the movie is. Like the movie has these weird circumstances, like the Basil Wallace trying to get the one guy to talk, put acid on his head. Oh, it's too much. And Screwface, you did pissed off. What'd you do that for? You put too much. The Jeffrey Combs stuff, the blood, the tarot card, like the ex-wife, but again, that weirdness made the movie at least have a bit of character to it. And wasn't boring. It wasn't forgettable. It wasn't by the numbers. And while, yes, the director, you tell he was... like, this is his first film he's going to direct. He really wants to make a home run on it. So, I'm going to make the script. And I almost appreciate that he tried too hard. I think I do. Not even almost appreciate. I do appreciate that he tried too hard. And for some, it's not going to be for them. But I think it's worth at least one watch. If I found this on DVD, I would pick it up. Because I saw it from online. I don't even know if it has a Blu-ray. Again, if I found the DVD, I would pick it up. And I believe there's a commentary I would like to listen to with the director and Bokeem Woodbine. Which that'd be interesting. But I don't even know if it's on I could check real quick. I got my computer right here. Because I'm actually curious if it's even the DVD's in print. So I know this is the end of the review, but oh well. Just figured I'll check it real quick. Caught Up Blu-ray. People, you don't have to. I know. I'm just curious. I'll just let it go. No, nothing on DVD. Just curious. Oh, the VHS tape. But I'm not seeing the DVD. Okay, yeah, you did it for $4 from 1998, or a special edition $4.99 or $2.24 used. Plus you got shipping. Huh. Okay, so there you go. Not on Blu-ray. Alright, so this film is not on Blu-ray. Okay then. Maybe I'll pick it up sometime. But the last DVD was 2001. Wow, that's quite a while ago. So yeah, it's a film that's not even on Blu-ray, so that shows how people cared about the film. But I liked it overall. I did like the movie, and it was at least interesting to see where it was going, and there you go. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.